This is a quick tutorial on how to use Desmos, the graphing calculator, to do some graphs for anything that we might do, but for instance for your problem of the week. So up in this area here we can put an equation. So if you guys remember for the golf problem that we did, we ended up we were finding the cost of a membership was equal to 240,000 yen. Plus it was another 1,000 yen for every for every round of golf. So I'll make that cost as C and R for the rounds of golf that they played. Now the other cost was for the other equation in this case would be there was no upfront cost, so it was simply 21,000 yen per round in there, and so we have two equations. Now, the problem with our graph right now is these equations are so crammed in here on the y-axis, they're really hard to see because of our scale. So if I go over here to our little graph settings, I know for my y-axis, for instance, I'm not going to deal with any negative costs in here. So I can make 0 my lowest point here. And I can also have, I know that certainly I start off at 240,000 yen, so the cost can go up to something above that. I'm going to make it just a bit above there, maybe 400,000 yen. Now I can start to see some graphs here. And on my x-axis, again, I don't need any negative costs in there. And I could even put it in as 0. And then I can also look at, I know that from my calculations, we already know that 12 was their intersection. So I want to go a little bit above that to be able to see where they cross. Maybe make this one 15 in there. I can also add my label for my x-axis. This was rounds of golf. And the y-axis was the cost in yen. Okay, and now if I click back on my graph, now I have a graph. I can even move it around to find stuff better for me to take a look at that. I have cost in yen here on my y-axis. I have rounds of golf on my x-axis. I can also click on this point here where they intersect, click twice, and it shows me that point. So this would actually be a pretty good screenshot to be able to put in right now, showing that, and I would have to of course explain it, that this was the cost without the membership, which would start off at 0 and will get more and more expensive the more rounds of golf I played, up until it would keep getting more expensive. But at this point, at 12 rounds of golf, it would actually be equal to the cost of the membership cost, which is this red line here. And anything more than 12 rounds of golf in a year, it would be worth it to use the membership, because that would actually end up being less expensive. All right, so that's what I would have to explain, but I could just take a screenshot of this as evidence of the fact that 12 was the number that I was looking for.